1420 is a perfect time to get Shandie so she can blaze it through the rest of these. All right. So we're going to do this one. Complete area 75. This is 125. So on this one, yeah. On this one, we're going to try to get past 125, but we've got Shandie to help us go faster. We got Shandie to help us go faster. We have some favor to speed up our attempt here. Oh, I did get it. Oh, man. Oh, nice. Nice. That makes me happy. All right. We'll do this the way. Got to get enough gold to get slot 6 in, and then Shandie's going to come online and boost us. Fortunately, I don't have any chests, any Electrum chests I should have saved. No, wow, we were trying to get Penelope's. Should have saved that Electrum for Shandie, though. Elminster challenge to use Dungeon Master blocking, but that's not trolling. That's them recognizing that Dungeon Master, Dark Urge, and Gale will always be available for Elminster. No one else will. They can't give us any other champion requirements other than those 3, like not named. Yeah, for challenges. But I don't know. I never use Finn anyway, so I don't care. Finn can't always be used in patron variants. Can't. They're missing an apostrophe T there. But yeah, because I do my stuff in the background on my main account, I don't even Finn doesn't matter to me. If you're doing patron stuff, patron challenges actively, then sure, I get it. But I don't, so I don't personally worry about that. I think I tried to start adding her to one of my sets of saved formations, but I think I gave up. Yeah, you got Will. Yes, Will is one of the absolute adversaries. Will is the key to Willy Wonka, along with nerds. One of the 2 keys to the Willy Wonka shenanigans that people like to play around with. Will also very incredibly strong scaling if and only if you can build around getting like 3 or 4 stacks of his folk hero buff. He is a double mop, and if you can build it right, one of the strongest support champions in the game. Willy Wonka, yes. You got it right. Willy Wonka is a formation that Mars and Sean created, I think. I haven't messed around with it. But it revolves around using nerds DPS and Will buffing nerds because nerds can get all four of Will's folk hero stacks. It's the other meta usage of nerds in the game that now the devs are like, what? We specifically designed nerds to be bad and not get used. It was a meme champion, and now there's 2 meta usages for nerds. Or, you know. Yep. Don't you know I did not prompt this impromptu nerds chat? I know. This is another reason I wanted favor after that first one, because I'm still waiting to get Shandie in. I'm still waiting. It takes a while. Like, if you don't have favor, you can't get to slot 6 right away. But it's fine. I think 1420 was good. I think the last time we pushed semi-deep on a first run, we had like a little over 2,000 favors, so I think it was a good compromise. I did Lurking Rider, yeah. I mean, Although Sean's is better geared than yours is, so, or better pigmented than yours is. Just saying. They've got blues. Uh, yeah, Sean used dark magics. Yeah, yeah. He usually does. He usually does. Giving nerds all tags kind of made a novel that used to be found over time. Well, I mean, I don't think they really thought about it that way. To be honest, it's just one of those things where, as as it becomes harder and harder to find new things to base abilities out of, basing things on tags had, you look at every possible option, and tags eventually made it in. And it just happened that a long time ago, nerds got made with all the tags. Well, lots of tags. And now the challenge is like, what kind of cool other new abilities could you make? Like, and not even just let's make something unique, but like what's actually useful. And I think someone threw one of those, a good one out of that last week. Maybe a champion whose ability slows down bud decay. I mean, that could be potentially useful to people for a lot of reasons. Um, but it's, after 6.5 years, it's like coming up with, you've got to really look at like, what is it that people need? And power isn't, power is an answer, yes, but how do you deliver that power? What's different than it's already in the game, or what could come into the game to change that for you? And that was one. That's one I hadn't heard of before. Stability targets alphabetically by the second word in their bio. No, yeah, you don't want to just look, as we saw with the Narak Ultimate rework. You don't want to just go for unique. There's it needs to solve a problem instead of create one, right? It can be a puzzle that you need to solve, but like with Shaka, but it needs to be it needs to help you in more way, ideally in more ways than just uh it just adds a lot of power, because they can add power to any champion. They're making more champions powerful now with these reworks. Yeah, you can't boost. Yeah, you can't be like makes your item levels bigger. You can't. You don't really want to do something that's really just nice for established players with established power. That's not. There is stuff like that in the game, though. I mean, there is, the more you've done, the stronger things are. I mean, that's Carlock and Elminster, or Carlock and Gale, excuse me, both have that. Kent has that. Like, the further, the more you can complete, the further you can go. Here's unlocking some more power. So as you progress, it kind of, the champion levels up with you. That's neat. It's kind of a gated progression based form of power. I don't mind that. But something that just flat says, all item levels on your champion double in power, right? Like, yeah, Crux has that for Zerix's. I think Gale and Carlock have a higher potentiality. But Crux has it in a limited way. They tried early on. They tried things like, they tried experimenting with something like that, and that's how we got more gains as gold find stacking. It's not tuned very well. That count all patrons or just basic for Crux? All the patrons, yeah. Yeah, Crux is everything in Zerixis, but there's a potential cap to that, right? It's all the base adventures times the number of base adventures times 4, because, well, to start because that counts the base adventure plus each of the variants, right? But then you need the number of variants, which is 3, times the number of patrons, which is 5 now. So there's 15 more. So it's total of 19 times the number of adventures in the storyline. That's going to be the max cap of power until they add another patron. Whereas, like with Carlock and Gale, it's all patron stuff. It's all of that specific patron stuff across through every campaign, right? So as they're adding more variants, there's more power. So there's almost 400 variants in the game. So that's a much higher number than, I think you might get 10 to 15. We're at 16 adventures in Sword Coast times 19 is, that's around 300. It's a good number. It's definitely a lot of power, but we're already at like 400 for variants for Carlock and Gale. Rex's scales quicker, probably. Yeah, that's because there's going to be a small. It's because it's a limited number. He's going to have a limited number until they add another patron. But it's been a long time. It was a long time between Zariel and Elminster. Texag, thank you for the gift sub. Lediath, you've been subbed. Courtesy of Texag. Yeah, Gale does it with Elminster. Carlock does it with Zariel. Gale scales with Elminster variants. Phrasing. Carlock scales with Zariel variants. Crux scales with all content in the Light of Xerxes campaign. That's better. Where's that clip? No. Out of context is bad. They'll add for the other 3 patrons? I don't know, maybe. I mean, but there's a potential, right? Like for Strahd, you could see Strahd on an Esmeralda rework, right? Like if they rework Esmeralda at some point, look, who better to scale it off of? I would think. Well, no, actually, not necessarily. Kind of. Well, maybe not. She doesn't like Strahd, but she is very knowledgeable of Barovia, and so doing more things would. I could see them translate that as giving her more power. Kind of like, Karlek doesn't work for Zariel, but in the Idle Champions universe, she probably would, right? She might be more open to it. Vajra, I don't know. Vajra would have to be maybe Alcoria. Maybe Alcoria. Because the only other, I don't, yeah, they're never going to, well, but see, I don't think they're ever going to rework an Evergreen. I was about to say also Force Grey, but that's core and Evergreen. That's a core Evergreen list as well. Those are because she's in charge of Force Grey, so it would make sense. And also Alcoria is in Waterdeep, that would make sense. But yeah, I don't think they can do either of those. They'd have to, is there anybody else that's straight out of Waterdeep that, I don't know. It would have to be a Waterdeep. A Waterdavian or someone, that is known to have worked with Vajra. And Mert's going to be difficult because, again, mostly known for Waterdeep, for Harpers. He's a masked lord. They already reworked Omen. Omen's also a masked lord. That might have paired hand in hand well. Volo. Oh, God. Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. Strahd has his special champ since Nahara exists. They could do that with Nahara. Honestly, that would be a cool rework for Nahara. She has a cool feature off of Strahd already. They could add another one. Sure. So if I buy a G in the patron shop and a slot I have a shiny on, do I get a free shiny potion? Yes. It refunds back a potion of polish. That's exactly what happens. But yeah, you can't do it with an evergreen. Xander. Oh no, Xander came out of Waterdeep. Xander can function for Mert or Vajra. Does Xander qualify for Mert and you'd figure out which one Xander qualifies for? Yeah, Xander would be a good opportunity. We're about to have an ad break, by the way. Charlotte gains rage tax while for hitting or being hit. Wouldn't you want her up front in the tanking position? Not necessarily. I have stronger tanks than Karlach. And when I'm pushing super deep, like into area 1700 or something, she can't survive in the tank column. If Xander qualifies for Mert and Strahd, then Xander would be the Mert patron champion, I would think. If you were going to do it that way. Super Crackle. We're just going to have to exist with Crackle, folks. We tried all kinds of ways to get rid of it. And the only way that reliably gets rid of it isn't acceptable. So. If you were to have Volo in the game, would you prefer him as a champion, a patron, or a familiar? He would never be a familiar. We haven't had people as familiars. And so in that sense, I'd rather have him as a champion I just never use than as a patron that I'm kind of forced to interact with. Oh, there is a mini gym? Well, that's right. Where is it anyway? I don't know. I didn't see it. I miss it. There is like a tiny little gym. I forgot. I don't think they would introduce someone like Volo as a familiar. Let me change that. I don't think they would introduce someone as like Volo as a familiar. I forgot about Mini Jim. What's my beef with Volo? He's a hack. Van Richten too. Yeah, Nathalis. I mean, I tried to figure out what's causing it, and ultimately we found out what's causing it. It's the program that cuts out all the background noise in my room. For some reason, started crackling a week or two ago. Occasionally, and I've tried a lot of different fixes to keep using the program without it crackling. But the only true fix is to not use the program, and I don't want that because as people will testify who were here at the beginning of the stream, it sounds like a plane taking off in my room with the fans and the mic and everything. So. Yeah, a familiar that's like a Tab's eyeball with the text. This is Volo's fault. That'd be funny. Did I get an Easter card from CNA like Mars? It's just employees, yeah. Full-time employees. We talked about the distinction of that the other day too. There's full-time employees and there's independent contractors. I get cool shirts on occasion. I even got some dice. I've got some iris dice, but or who knows? Maybe I'll get it. I don't know. I don't think I'm getting an Easter card. I am not a full-time employee. Yeah, Orkira cycled out right as Elminster came in, unfortunately. It's not about using tons of resources. And I mean your computer's whisper quiet, that's great. I don't know. My computer is set to maintain a certain temperature. I might be able to go in and mess with those temperature settings and let it run hotter before the fans kick on, but I don't I would rather have a nice cool computer. So I have a lot of fans. There's like, yeah, there's a bunch of fans. It's water cooled too. I don't know if that makes a difference. If yours is air cooled or water cooled. Not water, liquid cooled. Yeah, I had Orkira coasting to the finish and the Invisible Wizards of Thay, but well, I know you need fans. I'm aware. I'm just saying I don't know if the fans are louder because of that, because you have to push air through radiators, or I don't know. I've had fans in the past, like I've had computers in the past that were super quiet because they were built like the cases were built to be super quiet with huge fans, like huge fans, rotating at a slower RPM. It was nice, but but those kind of cases don't ever seem to be the ones that you can fit super big GPUs in. So so I moved away from that. Yeah, I'm gonna keep that joke to myself. Good idea. Good idea. Fans facing the walls or they're facing the open? I think one set of fans is blowing out toward the wall and thus push. Hold on. Yeah, one of the sets that's sucking air out past a radiator um, is about 3 or 4 inches from a wall. Can't fix that. Can't fix that. There's just certain things I have to accept in this room. That's one of them. But I made sure it's moved out as far from the wall as possible. Yeah. But the ones that are all sucking in are have free airflow. So I would not want to cool a PC with root beer. I don't think that would work very well. I don't think that would work very well. Wow, all the fans are sucking air. Yeah, some people may have said it. Think that, oh well, yeah, I just want to blow as much air in as possible. You gotta have a good in and out flow, or else it doesn't really do anything. So you would say that you blame your fans for the crap? No, no. I would say I blame the program. There's a software problem, and I don't know if the problem is specifically that program or its interaction, or like there are people who are like, well, it's a Hertz interaction between certain things. I'm like, that ain't it. Um, we really don't know exactly what triggers it. I thought it was when my CPU cycled up, but that wasn't reliable. Like, Yeah, I have nowhere else to. I can't really move the. Like I said, it's a good number. It's at least 4 inches away from the wall, which allows the air to divert and move away. Um, so, raid. I don't know. That's fine. There they are. Oh, and there's the announcer voice. Hey, it's our raid announcement. Hello, everybody from the Shandie Games account. Welcome. Guessing your stream just in it. I think I have an in-game pop-up coming too. It's Mondays. That's what happens. That's what happens. Did I miss anything from chat? Okay, there we go. I just want to make sure I was caught up on the questions from chat. Hello to everybody coming in from the Shandie Games Twitch account. My name is Garwar. I'm the guy that writes all the guides over on the subreddit. I'll also be hosting a stream tomorrow, Tuesday, and Thursday, and Saturday over on the Shandie Games Twitch channel. I do some streams for them, but I am not a Shandie Games full-time employee. Yeah. Welcome. I am playing on my new player account, or my new account, I should just call it. But we are about 28 days in, so I'm a little further than some of the people who just started today with the giveaway. But you can ask all the questions here. My guides are built around helping new players adjust to the game. So, yeah, fire away if you have any. If you have any. Yep, we're all ketchup in chat. Tomorrow only tuxedo Dwarfgar. We were just talking about how tomorrow, the name of tomorrow's stream is like Garwar's special elegant celebration stream, and I'm like, does that mean I have to dress up? Does that mean I have to dress up? Should I? We'll find out tomorrow. Yeah, welcome to the game, Harry Pig. Idle Champions is, it's kind of whatever you make of it. You can deep dive into it, and it's a pretty deep knowledge pool, or you can just kind of mess around with your favorite champions and characters from D&D and the Streamiverse, all the different streams and games like Baldur's Gate 3. Yeah, whatever you want. But yeah, over on the subreddit wiki for Idle Champions, I have over 170 guides now, targeting new players. I've been making guides for this game for over 6 years, so we know most things around here. Most things. Get one of those t-shirts with a tux printed on it. Oh, wow. One time I would find that useful. Hey, Nomo. No, I think I've got some things. I've got some things in my closet, I think Brig Hellclaw could make an appearance with his shiny coat and hat. I don't think they would appreciate that, but, Brig Hellclaw is always around. So the Tuesday stream is a one-off? Yes. GG2E, Garwar's Guide to Everything, and Idle Champions, hashtag GG2E, is a Thursday stream. And then Garwar's Guide, the tutorial shows on Saturdays. So tomorrow's stream is that's why it's a special stream. It's for this week of promotional activity in the game, so I can answer questions for people. Yeah, usually I stream over here on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturday afternoons. Remember, how do you convince your partner the beards are obviously awesome? I don't know. Like, why? I don't understand people who are like in relationships with people who are like, no, you can't have facial hair. I just don't understand that. Like, I wouldn't be in that relationship in the first place. So I don't know what to tell you there. I'm having a bit of a. I'm having a bad beer today. Hopefully, it'll be having a better day tomorrow. But I think it's a little better. It's just it kind of goes all over the place. Oh, we did get to Shandie. Oh my god. Oh my god. Look, I just unlocked Shandie, folks. Give me a break. We just did a time gate for Shandie. I still can't level her up to get to her dash. Oh, this is why. This is why we're not using Shandie. Speed. Yeah, this is why we need more favor. And until you have more favor, you can't even access her speed. Laughtal, last stream mentioned a Steam exclusive DLC giveaway. Yes. Is there a way to get those rewards if you play through Epic? No, that's why it's called Steam exclusive. Yeah. So the way the giveaways tend to work, these marketing promotions that happen for Idle Champions, is there's usually one every 3 months or so, pretty much like clockwork. And it tends to bounce between Steam and Epic because those are the only platforms that are okay with giving away stuff. So, yeah. So they alternate between the two. And those platforms tend to want those giveaways to be exclusive. So what happens is in about 3 to 6 months' time, the familiar and the skin that you can get in the Steam DLC will be available in the gem shop. But in about 3 months' time, there's probably going to be an Epic giveaway. I wanted to shave off the beard and keep the stash, but my wife didn't allow me. Well, my wife threatened divorce for shaving my face again. Yeah, see, some people know. Look, I don't like the way I look without a beard, so without some kind of facial hair. So that would never happen for me. Yeah, I can understand if the person with the beard doesn't properly clean it. Look, I wash my beard every time I wash the rest of me, which is regularly, folks. Please, please. Yeah. Oh no, yeah, Bart. Look, here's the one thing. I get where you're coming from. Like, I would suggest perhaps shave every day as long as you do too. Maybe a solution to the beard issue. Like, here's the first thing. At first, look, I'm gonna be clear. I am not married. I'm not in a long term relationship. But barter based relationships where you're like, well, I'll do this if you'll do this. There's problems there in the first place. Yeah, I don't. Be careful. I don't know. I'm just gonna be me in a relationship, and either they like that or they don't. I mean, I'm not gonna be a jerk, right? You do have to find things to compromise on, but your facial hair, they have to compromise on their hairstyle. Like, dash at 120, and then we'll finally. I picked up Shandie for speed, and 246 E14 gold. We'll finally get to turn some on, but we're already 71 areas in. Why 1600? This message brought to you by your party stuck at 1545. Aww. I finally finished on my main account. I finished both Penelope and Gale tier 4. I finished the last one today for Gale. I did Penelope's first. I just got to figure out who to open with my flex slots. But I'm waiting until this weekend's tutorial show, which is Garwar's Guide to Flex Champions in Greengrass. It's almost like we plan it that way. Yeah, the Dark Justiciar Shadowheart skin was from an Epic giveaway previously, and it just showed up in the gem shop. No hot tub streams. I'm totally okay with people who want to do hot tub streams. Like, you make your money. I ain't mad at you. As long as it ain't illegal, I ain't mad at you. You're not hurting anybody. I ain't mad at you. I don't want to be in a hot tub on a stream. It's just my choice. You know, the closest we get to to hot tub streams here when we play Dave the Diver. Play Dave the Diver. Ice cream tub streams. That could be done. That's more doable. An ice cream tub stream. Yeah, just me with a tub of ice cream. Maybe a little Ben and Jerry's New York Super Fudge Chunk. I think I would freak people out if I were eating Ben and Jerry's on stream. Because I eat my, like, the little cartons of Ben and Jerry's. I eat that with a fork, and that always confuses people. That always confuses people. You confirmed this weekend stream is all about Gar flexing on us, or no, flexing for us. See, I liked it the other way. But what do your viewers want? Look, that's not how this works. I do not bow to my viewers' wishes. That's all right. We're going to continue this run. Specifically, normally, sometimes you just want to bounce early, but we're trying to test out the third variant, or the third adventure. Two adventures, third variant, area 125. We're going to try to get to at least 125, if not further, and also grab some favor in this second run. Just because more favor means I'll get Shandie on earlier, but we'll also know if we can even complete this right now. May as well test, because if we can't, we'd need favor. So, what better way to do it than combine it with this, right? KFC stream. I'm actually not a huge fan of KFC. I used to be. I don't know what changed, but I don't enjoy it that much anymore. Orthonis, do you get enough blood from chest to be able to always run tier? Wow, that's. I'm going to have to put some context on that question for our new viewers. Do you get enough blood from chest to be able to always run tier 10 Tiamat without running out of blood? So, for new viewers, there's a kind of a mid to end game content, mid through end game, that's called Trials of Mount Tiamat, and you need vials of Tiamat's blood to be able to access higher tiers of it. You get it from Bahamut chests. On my main account, I have a stack of 60 or 70 Bahamut chests that I just have never opened, and I still have plenty of vials. So it's RNG based. I mean, everything's does RNG Jesus bless you or not? But I haven't run out in a year or two. I don't know. There were some worries early on when they changed to the new system, like because they did a mini trials rework, and tier 7 was kind of the sweet spot to always have enough to continue. But we do tier 10 every week, and I've never had problems. So. I haven't given Twitch my credit card number yet, but a Gar or a hot tub stream might push me over the edge. Well, it looks like your credit card's safe, Logan. Yeah, Carlock tanking at I'm guessing you're super high level, Graydon. She doesn't she doesn't really have damage reduction. So yeah. It can be a problem. She's fine lower levels, but once you get once I get over area 1500, that's why I just use her as a DPS. I bring her back and tank with somebody else. KFC's oil got changed. That might have done it. All right, now I finally have Shandie dash. So as long as we're not under attack for 30 seconds, she'll speed up the entire game by 25%. I don't have anything else for feats. She's got some feats that'll improve that. Yeah. KFC died for me when they replaced the potato wedges with French fries. They did what? See, I haven't been back. Oh my god. How dare they? Why? That's like when Arby's died for me for a long time when they got rid of their kind of potato cakes, like their hash browns, basically. I was like, why would I go to Arby's? My Dark Urge is my new DPS. 37 million kills took 2 days. Wow, that's a lot of kills. But Peregrine, do you have Falcons? Does it make sense towards the end of early game to just speed through variants, completing ASAP instead of making deep runs for favor? Through variants, doing a variant, you always just want to bounce out of. If you're talking about adventures, like normal storyline adventures, yeah, as long as everything shows as like difficulty easy, the difficulty rating, I know it's not a great measurement for whether something's easy or not, but when you're just trying to do adventures and variants, it's a good. When you're still in the early game, it's fine. As long as everything shows as green, then you don't need deep runs for favor. Yeah. So that's, but on variants, yeah, you never really want to deep push a variant because the restrictions make it hard to get favor. For new players, can you explain why collecting skins does not make you a bad person? I will leave that to Mars. He is the resident skin collector. Yeah, I mean that J Dog. That's look. I used to like the fries, but only with certain meals. But the artificial mashed potatoes and artificial gravy from KFC were. I mean that was part of the draw for going to KFC too. But I did love the potato wedges. Wow, laughed all. I haven't been to KFC in a while. There's I don't know, there are other places with chicken that I prefer. Why does anyone go to Arby's? Because my mom likes Arby's, so and I like to do nice things for my mom. That's why. Sometimes you just want the meat sweats. I never want them. Like the only time I want the meat sweats is if I spend all day barbecuing a brisket, like smoking a brisket. Then I want the meat sweats. I don't want it from Arby's. Being green, why are some places showing me always fair no matter how much favor I get? Well, are you in the Wild Beyond the Witchlight, Nathalis? Because that entire campaign is hard coded to show as fair, because the Wild Beyond the Witchlight is a carnival. And another word for carnivals are fairs. And then from that point on, if it's stuff after that, it's because anything that got added to the game after that, they copy pasted the code, not knowing it was hard coded, and they broke everything. Yeah. Would you consider Penelope's third variant an exception to the rule? It seems more of a buff than a hindrance. Maybe. I'd have to look at it. I'd have to look at it. There are some variants that the one hard fast rule in Idle Champions is that there's an exception to every rule. So there are some variants that bypass that, like Caddy Brie alone or Bee Stingers Unleashed. There are ways to take those to very high levels. If a variant has rules that benefit you for favor, it's up to you to understand that, right? But if you do bounce out of them and move on, it's not like you've ruined your game or anything. Super D Dub, thank you for the Prime subscription. I was like, it's not showing up over here. What happened? Much appreciated. We've got an ad, but for those of you who don't know, I run regular ad breaks here. once every half an hour. They last for like 90 seconds, and it makes it so that when new people come into the stream, they don't have to deal with pre-roll ads. And I usually try to stop answering questions during the ad break so that people don't miss the answers. It's helpful in that regard, since we answer a lot of questions around here. With 9 familiars, Smoke Badger, with 9 familiars, do you want to keep 6 on the board as DPS? It's not necessarily as DPS, but you might want 5 or 6. Like 6 is going to pick up, is going to auto kill distractions. 5 is going to pick up all the stuff that falls on the ground. And you know, with 5 there, you could put 4 like roaming the ultimate bar if you wanted, or leveling up 4 key champions. So there's there's reasons you might want to be 5 instead of 6. It's really just up to what you want to do with all of them. But it's only damage on the board if you're running a fire breath potion, or if you're early on and you're leveling up your click damage. Ad break. Andy's mint chocolate shake is a pretty good reason to go to Arby's. I am not a huge. I don't discount that. I am not a huge fan of those mint chocolate things. Anything mint and chocolate together isn't really my thing. Some people love them, and by all means, if that's your jam, then go get some. See, the real homies freaking out. I'm gonna get to that question. You might not be able to hear me right now, but it's okay. Don't panic. Don't panic. We got about 30 seconds when we're back from the ad break. Here's a total eclipse. Now get back to work. Wow. Triggered. 10 seconds, folks. All right. I think we're back now. The real El Homie Derp. Wait, I lose all my golden levels when I start a new adventure? Yeah. This isn't a normal kind of idle game. I saw a comment in chat I actually really like. Treat it like a roguelite, right? Where you do a run and then you have to start over, but you get permanent progress in some way, shape, or form. There's a couple forms of permanent progress. The gold that you earn on your run, like if you hover over here, the gold I've earned is what creates that Mistra's favor, that second line. And I then have that in whatever campaign or time gate or event I'm running. I keep that favor. That favor acts as a gold find multiplier in my next run, making it easier for me to level up my champions and thus go further on the next run. So that's a form of it. In a main campaign, you can also turn that favor into blessings of the gods, which is permanent power increases or permanent changes to functionality, like this one gets you more gems. That helps you go further. And while we're on blessings, make sure warnings are enabled. If this checkbox is green, then buy away. Buy whatever when you end a run, come back, start a new run, come over here and buy a bunch of whatever you can buy. If the pop-up pops up, then say no. That means you don't want to spend. But anything that buys without a pop-up, buy. That is a fantastically functional indicator in the game. But another thing that you're doing along the way is you're earning green gems. And if you hover over the cash shop, you see green gems, 427. You want to spend these. You earn those off killing the bosses and also as rewards for completing adventures in the regular campaigns, adventures and variants. And there's a gem shop here on little gem items. And when you're brand new, you want to buy silver chests. Well, when you're brand new, the first thing you want to do is buy a mage hand. It's 250 gems. But after you buy that, you want to buy the silver chests until all of your champions have green gear or better. Like all of these brand new, like the core 12, we call them, like Brunor and Celeste and Nieli. Not the ones you got in the Steam promo. Those are event champions. But All the others, once they're green or better, then you can switch over to gold chests. Because basically the gear is, this is going to drop low level gear and this is going to drop higher level gear, and you just want to transition into them. But you can see the price is way, way different, right? So you want to start off with a bunch of these just to gear yourself up and gain that permanent power and progress from the gems that you got, and then here to start getting bigger and bigger forms of power. I'm currently trying to, I need 500 for my next gold chest. I'm at the point where all of these core champions are blue or better, so I'm trying to hunt all these epics, and they only come out of those gold chests. Whereas my Shandie is an event champion. She has no gear whatsoever. What I'm trying to do is earn some gear for her. So yeah, don't panic. That's just how the game works, and it's fine. It's fine. You still get the event feats later, or am I doomed to never have Tier 3 Penelope 1 as a new player? So Harem Root, as the game currently stands, she will return in a later event. And when she returns, you can then try to, if you could flex her, and then you pick her in a flex slot, and then try to get her stuff for her at that point. We are hoping that when they rework time gates, that time gates will have access to this new system, because this event system is brand new. I'm hoping that time gates will get you access to these tiers of content, but we won't know that for a little while. We won't know that for a little while. Don't panic and always remember where your towel is. It's right over there. My towel, I've got a towel right over there. Oh yeah, I mean, if you're, some people don't get the ad breaks. Some people are sub to my channel. Other people have, like, whatever the Twitch sub Prime, whatever it is. I don't know. Turbo. It used to be Turbo. I don't know what they call it now. And then some people are just live in areas where they don't get served ads. And some people have ad blockers, but we don't talk about that here, because those ads help me buy groceries. So everything you buy without a pop-up, buy. Best Wall Street advice ever. I wish there was a pop-up for stocks, right? Wouldn't that be great? Is there a point in leveling a character beyond just brisking through the adventure and doing more DPS? Yes. So if you'll notice over here, there's a tab called Feats, which is a functionality from Dungeons and Dragons. And there's up to 4 feat slots, but if you'll note, you at least at some point have to get Bruenor leveled up to a certain level. Each feat slot has a level requirement, so that is another form of permanent progression unlock. As you level up the champions, you'll get to them. So like my Shandie needs to get to 260 to just have access to a single feat slot at all, and for me to be able to slot a feat for her. So that's one of the reasons. But yeah, generally when you're in a run, you want to upgrade your champions so that they're buffing and doing damage, and you're building your formation around a specific single person doing all of your damage. In this formation, it's Jarlaxle is the goal, and if I hover down here over the lightning bolt, I can see, yes, Jarlaxle. There's Jarlaxle's face. He's the one doing the huge spikes of damage. So I built my formation correctly. Cyclops, I'm new. 10 days. Welcome to the game. But closing in on Mert. Nice. 22 champions, 70, 44 levels geared. Yeah. Should I buy silver chests until I reach 2,000 item levels so I get Mert open faster? Ooh. That's kind of a personal choice. I didn't on this account. I just kept buying gold chests. Because once you unlock Mert, you need to be able to complete harder versions of the variants of the adventure variants you've been doing already to get influence and currency for Mert. And I didn't. If I was racing through his silvers, I'd unlock him, but I may not have the gear, like blue or purple's gear, to be able to complete those variants. So I just went with purples. There are people who do race through and do it with silvers. I haven't heard them complain too much, but for me, I chose to just buy the gold chests. Yes, Time Gate 2.0, please give tier rewards, please. It would be great. It would give me a reason to do time gates again on my main account. My main account has so many time gate pieces. Yeah, Terminator. It's, look, enjoy the free stuff, but we were talking about this earlier. Like new players with those 16 gold chests. Technically, for those champions, you have enough gold chests. You could just pop them all. Not worry about efficient gearing up. You're going to end up with blues and purples. It'll be fine. But normally, you kind of want to. Normally, you want to try to get, like with Shandie, I want to get greens here before I start popping her gold chests. But that's because I'm going to have a limited number of gold chests. Right now, I am appreciating the noise canceling from this software, even if it goes crackle on the audio occasionally, because there's weed eaters right outside my window. And that would be very problematic. Yes, the gardener's right. Can you hear it? Can you hear it when I'm actually talking? Okay. Wow. Normally it mutes it out, but oh well. Oh well. Then we're champions like a Char and M1 that do multi-hit damage to deal with pesky shielded health bars. I mean, there are a lot of ways to deal with it. Get some levels here. We got a bear. Um, there are people whose ultimates will deal with it, like Krull and Corazon. They've got the two most useful ultimates for dealing with armored and hit-based enemies. But there are some people with multi attacks. Hitch has a dagger, but like a bouncing dagger, that only really works against the hit based enemies, not the armored ones. Um, there are some champions that give you extra credit. Esmeralda gets you double credit against all segmented health. Human only gives you extra credit on bosses. Just depends. It's very quiet. Good. Well, that's at least good, because it's not very quiet for me. Oh yeah, over leveling, sure, Kishiro. But I think for the new players that are coming in, they're not going to. It's over leveling your champions is a thing you can do. There's a point called a soft cap where there will be a circle with a line through this ability, and if you have the double up arrow, it won't let you add anything else. But you can switch it to numbers and over level them. There are some champions that benefit from that, but you're a long ways off from that. Encore was fixed. What was wrong? Did they finally add the missing node? People finally stopped talking about it. Let me see. Change log. Added the ability to disable. Oh, well, hold on. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna hold on, folks. We're gonna reset real quick. You're gonna get a brief view of my main account as it Briv Gem Farms. As it Briv Gem Farms, which will probably confuse a lot of new people. But, just in-game things. Just in-game things. Hold on. We're downloading the patch. We're going to patch in. Was it mentioned? I mean, they talk about it all the time. I don't trust it until it's in the game. Okay. Let's get the game back. There we go. Continue. Remember, my test here was just to see if I could get to 125. It looks like we're cruising right along just fine. I would like, I mean, we're going to get a decent amount of favor. EO4, yeah, that's great. So I think we'll be able to fly through this next variant pretty quickly. All right, change log. Added the ability to disable individual event boons, and the event boon display log. Fantastic. Remove purchase will disable dismantle warning for legendary illness dismantles. That's good because that was silly. Fix some cases where the event buff tooltip did not properly fit on the screen. Yeah, thank you. Maybe on my main account I'll be able to see it now. Legendary dismantles are no longer disabled, making an event token purchase for that champion. But that was up here. Okay. Added missing output node to the strong core. Cool. I'll have to check that out on my main account. I do not have that core here, clearly. I don't have any cores here. I have not split the party yet. I have not split the party yet. We performed at late 02. Hey, look. Look. Shara for pushing. Shandie's speed will kick back in. We lost it because of a ranged enemy. It's just, and I still have, I don't know why am I still running? I'm still running Gold Find. A Gold Find setup, really, instead of a pushing setup. Oh my god, what's next? Justin with his speed blog? Wouldn't that be amazing? Wouldn't that just be amazing? Yeah, I mean, originally I thought the crackle came from me, basically blowing out the mic, but it would happen when I was just having a regular conversation too, so. Okay, what are we doing? So there's 125. So we can easily get to 125. We've got 2 EO4 Mistress. I always do that. Mistress favor. I think we're fine, right? We're fine. I'm gonna call this because I'm not trying to go super